Excel.ts we need to change in the spec file.
Right. Right. So Control C, and then we can stop it. So mostly try to avoid using Excel.
Okay.
Okay, whether it is with Java or any other language, but it is not good to use.
Okay.
So it's opening the browser, but browser is not required for this testing. So as I was explaining, so first we have to install this Excel.js module, and
Okay.
then we create the object for a workbook. So from the workbook, we have to set like from which file we have to read. Okay, so that's why we are reading here, and after that, it always provides this asynchronous process method. Okay, so we have to validate everything inside this particular then block only. Okay,
Okay.
so we have to get the sheet from the workbook object, and then row, and then cell. Okay, so I guess the execution is still running. So for example, and one more thing I want to tell you and Loka was, if you want to run anything other than protractor and the console, okay, you have to write node. Now we are writing protractor, right?
Yeah.
So similarly, you have to write a node space the file name.
Okay.
Okay, so now we are able to see this apple. Okay, so that was the value present in the Excel file. So let me open the Excel file, data files, and travel in the Explorer. At the same time, here it starts with 1. Okay, the column starts with 1.
Okay.
The rows also starts with 1.
Okay.
Okay, so this is also important thing we need to remember. So for example, if you want to write this one in a detailed manner, means we have to write like we have to store every single object in something, and then we have to get the other objects. For example, first we will have, after workbook we will have a sheet. Okay, basically it is nothing but Excel sheet. So from the Excel sheet we will be retrieving the row.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so it will be like row. Okay, from the row we can retrieve cell. Okay, from the cell we can retrieve the value.
Okay. Now, if I want all the rows which have value, then I need not pass any parameter, right? Any argument.
You still have to pass the parameters.
Okay.
But now your question would be like, how come I will know the last row?
Yeah, correct.
Right. So for that we have methods. Okay. So we will see it in the in class itself. We'll see it next. Okay. So this is how normally you read it.
Okay.
So it starts with from here. From A will be considered as 1 and first row will be considered as 1. Okay, because some other packages will consider a different way. Okay, so we are able to read it. At the same time, again, we might need to write it, or sometimes we might need to do something else. For example, let me create one, HTTP, something like bing.com. So what is it?
URL, right?
Yeah. So you also call it as
Link.
Hyperlink. Yes.
Hyperlink. Okay.
Yeah. So sometimes what happens is it will consider it as a hyperlink.
Okay.
So sometimes it may not, work well when you are not aware of the value.
Okay.
Okay. So let's try running it, because sometimes it works and not sometimes, but I'm not sure when it actually stucks when we are using HTTP. Now, what is the value you see here?
It's like a key value pair JSON.
Right. So now will you able to see, for example, you are storing a list of values as a hyperlinks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So will you be able to use this particular hyperlink, this value, to navigate to somewhere?
No.
No. But if you want to get the hyperlink from it, how will you get it? So does it look like familiar to you? Does it look familiar to you?
Yeah.
The format.
Yeah. It's it is familiar. I mean, it is like text. I mean, well, they're like reading a JSON file.
Yes, JSON file is in the format of
In the format of, in the sense.
So JSON file always stores the values in the form of map, right?
Map. Yeah. Key value pair.
So basically this is the key
And
and
this is a
this is
value.
the value, right?
Yeah.
So let's try to bring only the one part. Now we are able to get only this,
Yeah.
the URL, the text part.
Yeah.
But if you are not sure about some value, but still you want it as it is, okay, then you can use toString method.
Just okay.
Okay, so whatever value is there, it will come as a string only.
Okay.
So now here we are not using a value, but instead of that one, we are converting this cell object into a string. Now let's see. Okay, it brings that same value. So now sometime back you are asking like, how do we do all the rows, and if you want to print every single row?
Yeah.
Okay, so for example, let's edit this Excel file and add some more values. Delete it. I'll remove the total row so that it will not have anything. So for example, if I say something, okay, now we have months. Let's read all the months from this particular row. Okay, now I have stored it, and just you need to focus one more thing. I still kept the Excel file in open.
Okay.
Okay, I have not closed it.
Okay.
So let me copy this one and comment comment this part. Now, here we are reading the worksheet. So what change we need to make here is we have to get all the rows.
Yeah.
So which means that we have to get the last row or the row count. Okay. So from the sheet, I can get
Last row. Yeah. Row count.
Row count.
Okay.
Okay. So last also you can get it, but it may return the object of the last row rather than the number of rows.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how do we make sure that whether it's a method or not?
This is this property.
Yeah. Whenever it's a property, it's a variable.
Variable.
Okay. So we have to store this one, something like var.
Total row.
Yeah. Total row or number of rows.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got number of rows, and we know like we have to read from the first cell. Sorry, the cell number 1 and the variable rows.
Yeah.
So what we can do now if you want to read everything?
For loop.
Yes. For let I, shall we go like I? So what would be the value? I equal to
1.
Why 1?
It starts from 1, right?
Yeah.
And I less than or equal to
when I starts with 1, so the count would be
less than or equal to
right.
I plus plus.
I plus plus. Then
And
we have to print it, right? We print it, but what we print?
Sheet dot get row of I.
Okay. Then
get row of I dot get cell of 1.
Get cell of 1.
1 dot toString you can do.
toString. Sure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me bring this one into the console log. Okay, now rerun the code so that we'll get to know like whether it prints the values or not. To open the Google. Now we got the values.
Yes.
Right? Jan, Feb, March. So for a moment's sake, let's check whether how many number of columns.
Columns, okay. Get column. But for that, we'll have to pass row as well, right?
Yes. So we don't have a column count actually.
Yeah, because that would depend on the row column. Oh, we have.
We have. Okay. I have not explored this part. Okay. So we have now what would be the variable and what would be the not changing part. So here I will start with Monday. So it goes till Sunday. Okay, except first one we have January. So if you want, now I have like first as the January, and from second onwards I have Monday, right?
Yeah.
So here I want to read the days. So what could be the logic? So do we need to rewrite the logic or something?
We want to read only Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, from Monday onwards we have to read every single cell on the right.
And the month this February, March we need not read.
No, we don't want February, March, but this part we want.
Okay, then we need to start from 2.
2, okay.
I is equal to 2.
2.
And I less than or equal to this because we are getting number of rows as column.
Okay, so and let me change it to calls.
Okay, sheet dot get row of it will be 1.
Why 1?
First row.
Okay.
and then get cell of I.
Let's try to print it. So we got the this one also, right?
Yeah.
So now tell me number of rows, whether it's a 1 row or it's a 12 rows.
12 rows, right?
Why? I guess you know the answer, but this time asking.
No, you're asking me what is the output of sheet dot get row count?
Yes.
Yeah, 12.
Why?
Because it starts from 1.
Starts from 1, but we have only 1 row in these cells, right? So won't it consider 1?
No.
Why?
No, rows, right? It is having the value till,
Right.
yeah.
So normally whichever is the maximum, it will be considered that one. Okay. It will be empty cells.
Empty
But,
cells, yeah.
yeah. But these empty cells present under these rows.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, I think in QTP VP script, it's like even if we double click and then blank it out, it will be considered as a value present in that.
Yes.
Yeah. Like
Actually, if you remove it, no, if you
Yeah.
don't add any value also, it will
Yeah.
consider this value only.
Correct.
Okay. It will not be considered as empty.
Yeah.
Empty or sorry, not as null.
Not
It
as
will always come considered as empty. It is simple like this one. Consider you are constructing a house, not house, a factory or a building.
Okay.
Okay. So now I want to build 9 floors. Now I don't want the 10th floor, but I want to build 11th, 12th, 13th floor. Is it possible?
No.
Right?
Yeah.
So while building this worksheet, if we leave this one as empty, for example, so this is empty cell. Okay. But if I insert one more cell, okay, here the seventh is not empty, but a null cell.
Okay.
Here we have erased something, so it becomes empty. But in the 7th, so basically here you can consider like July, and I have inserted empty cell here, so it will be a null only now. But if I delete this July, it becomes empty.
Empty. Yeah.
But as I was explaining that logic, you cannot build the 10th floor without building the 9th floor.
Yes.
So without building this one, it cannot create these values, right?
Yeah.
So it will create a empty cell there. So that is one of the things we need to remember. Now let's try to write it back into Excel sheet. Okay, so here also you need to get the cell. Okay, it's going to be like only part is we will not be converting that particular cell into a string. Okay, for example, consider I'm removing the for loop, but okay, now we got a particular cell. So which cell we want to write? Something like we'll consider this E on the 9th. Okay.
Okay.
This particular cell, which comes like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5th cell and 9th row. Okay, 9th row and 5th cell. What we want to set is value. Value we want to set. So for example, I will consider your name Sanjay. This is the value we want to set.
Okay.
So we are able to set it now, but you know what we have to do is we have to write it back into the Excel, right? So here we are just setting the cell. We have not written it back into the Excel, right? So we have to write it back. For that purpose, we will be using a write file. Okay, wb dot Excel sx dot write file, and then you can provide the same file name or a different file name. Okay, for example, let me consider the same file name. Okay, now we are able to write it. Let's execute whether it sets the value or not. Let me execute this one. Okay, we have not got any error. Okay, so whenever you see this green dot, okay, which means that a test is passed.
Okay.
Whenever you see F, it means it's failed. Okay, now let me close this Excel and I'll reopen the same Excel. Seems like it has not
I think
written.
we need to flush or something.
Huh?
Do we need to flush?
No, actually the right file is enough for here.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. For example, I'll add a different file name. I will run. So it is present here. Okay, so it's a Excel data -22. So we got all the values because here we are trying to get the sheet, right?
Okay.
Here we are getting the first sheet, and the first sheet itself we are making the change here.
Okay.
That's why you got the remaining values along with the Sanjay value.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. For example, let me close it and let's try to change it to Pawan. And I'll go with data 22 itself. Let's rerun. Maybe it happened because that time we had this Excel sheet on open. So now the value got changed, right?
Yeah.
Now, for example, let's consider like there is no Excel sheet at all. Or I mean like, I'm going to delete this data 22. Consider there is no sheet, but no Excel or nothing you have, but you want to write something. Okay, so in that case, what you need to do is you don't have to write all these things. Okay, you need to create a workbook. Okay.
Okay.
After the workbook, you need to write the worksheet. Okay, something like now consider you don't have a Excel. Okay, at all.
Okay.
So newly from the scratch you are trying to create. So you will be writing wb dot add worksheet. Okay, this add worksheet function, what it does is like it will create a new sheet. Okay, so for example, let's consider like a dummy sheet. Okay, so we have created the sheet. So let's write another value, like for example, get row. Okay, we want to write 9th or 5th row, and we want to get the cell of fifth. Okay, again 5 and 5.
Okay.
Now we have to set the value, right? So we have to set value equal to something like alien, for example. I'm just writing. Okay, now we want to write it into some file called Excel. Okay, now what it should do is it should first create a workbook. Okay, virtually it will create a workbook. Okay, basically nothing but a package for Excel, and then it will create a one layer of sheet, and in that one it will add the row 5 and cell 5. So now how many rows will be there in the Excel sheet after
5
this?
rows. 5
Yes,
rows.
because without building the first 4 rows it can't build fifth row,
Yeah.
right? It is same applicable for the cell also.
Cell rows.
If we run it, it should create new Excel sheet there as a Excel, and then with a value of alien. Okay, we have Excel. Let's open it. We got an alien here. Okay, so any doubt on this one, Sanjay?
No problem.
Okay, so
Can we just try with the relative path?
yeah, sure. So as I said, guess. So I'm going to remove this one.
Yeah.
Now try guess.
Dot slash.
Dot slash.
So now it comes to
So
JS.
basically, let me open that point to that particular file. So this is your conf file. Here you can see that tooltip, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now it is in.
Wait, not this one actually.
Yeah.
This one.
This one. Yeah. So now it is in JS form.
Right.
Yeah. Now we need to go back to pro batch one. So again dot slash.
Okay. Dot slash. Now we are in a pro batch.
Oh, yeah. Then.
So now from this point you should go into the utils file. Okay. Now from here you have to create it.
Yeah.
So what is it now?
So now I have to first come to form.
Okay. Which is, see, it will try to give you suggestions. Okay. So here you are getting POM, right, in the top.
Yeah.
So again, if you put a slash,
then go to data files.
Data files.
Data files and data hyphen files.
Data hyphen files.
Yeah, here we have the Excel.
Right. Now, shall we delete it?
Yes.
So I'm going to delete it. Now we don't have Excel sheet here. Now let's write, and this time we'll write something like Terminator.
Okay.
And rerun it. So by the time it runs, I have one question. How will you, read the diagonals like 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6? How will you read it from the Excel?
Same for loop. And then if I equal to j, then I go inside that and I read that.
So, okay, do we need 2 loops?
Yeah, 2 for loops, one for row, one for column.
No. What I mean, like, I want to write 1 or something, some value, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like this one. So this diagonal I want to write. How will you do it?
So this is 1, 1. So 2 is 2, 2. Right. Then 3 is 3, 3.
Right. 4, 4, 5, 5.
5, 5.
So we have to use 2 loops, right?
2 loops.
Consider this way.
Okay.
Out of the loop and the first loop, I am creating one more variable called j.
Okay.
Okay. I'm increasing j as well along with I.
Okay.
For example, this is what I was trying to tell.
Yeah.
Let I equal to 0 or sorry 1. Okay, I less than whatever, something like 5 you can say, because we are now writing 5 I plus plus, right? So this is what we are going to write.
Yeah, and then again one more variable.
So
J.
let me bring it.
Okay.
So again, you wanted to create one more loop, right?
Yeah. Instead
Similar
of
to
that, we'll
here, shall we write j equal to 0?
0 or 1. 1 is fine, right?
Yeah, 1, right, 1.
Hmm.
Same as I.
Yeah.
And j plus plus.
J.
Is it okay? Now think what happens.
No. What we need to do is, and J plus plus should come at the end.
Yes, it is at the end.
No, before this, we need to. We still need a condition, right? If I equal to J. Before this.
So okay, let's iterate one by one. Okay.
Okay.
First, it comes to the for loop. Before that, it j is 1.
J is 1. Correct.
Now it comes to for loop. I is 1.
Yeah.
Now it comes to this particular line.
Yeah.
Okay. It creates a sheet. Okay. So for example, let's create this sheet outside.
Okay.
Because we don't want to create multiple sheets.
Yeah.
So from the sheet we'll try. So now which row it will try to get?
The first row and first column it will try to get.
The value is terminator. So now the value is set. It comes to the j. J is now increased. Okay. From the moment it changes the line, it will increase. Okay.
Now j will become 2.
Okay. I
will become 2.
Now here what will be the value?
It will be 2. Yeah.
Okay.
Instead of
2 loops.
And yeah, correct.
So let's run it. No, actually I have not closed, I guess, maybe because of it. Okay. Let me delete the file.
So while writing, we need to close the Excel.
Yeah, maybe, I guess.
Okay.
So I'll say Excel new. Okay. This time either it could be a wrong one or our relative path could be a wrong one if it's not created in that path. Okay, Excel new got created, so our path is right.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we have to give less than or equal to 5.
Yeah, but you got the point, right?
Yeah.
How do we do it? Yeah. So now consider like this Excel has a heading. How will you skip the heading?
To start from 2.
Right. So if you start from 2, it will start from here.
Yeah.
So we normally skip the heading. Yeah. Oh, any doubt, Sanjay? No. Okay, try to use Excel S6 just for moment's sake, like read it what it is.
Okay.
But don't go much deeper. No, it's kind of, you don't get much resources to read. Even their official site doesn't tell like how to do things.
Okay. So you suggest JSON or CSV?
I would suggest JSON only. Okay. But if the requirement is more complicated, more something like it needs Excel sheets, means use Excel JS package. Okay, rather than going for Excel SX package. There is one more package called Excel SX.
Yeah, Excel JS. Yeah.
Okay. So instead of that one, this one is the better one.
Okay.
So that's all. Yeah. So any other questions?
No.
Okay. So we'll see like API testing, not API testing. I don't want to touch. Okay, once you come from it, we'll start. So we'll see like logging.
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, I'm there.
Yeah, logging we'll see, and
Okay.
we'll see. As of now, logging is there. If possible, we'll try to cover API and database testing as well.
Okay.
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 So that's all for today, Sanjay.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Thanks, Paul.
Thank you.